currently available in the market. So this is functional testing. When it comes to non-functional testing, here we focus more on the non-functional aspects like performance, security, etc. Okay, so when you say non-functional aspects, performance is one of the key aspect there. Okay, so performance. Uh, so what do you mean by performance? So for example, the same UI, I want to test the login functionality, how it is performing. So previously I tested whether the user able to log in successfully or not. When the user entered correct username and correct password and then click on login button, the user was able to log in or not is what we verified in the functional testing. However, the performance tester will be more interested in how much time it is taking to log in successfully. So when I enter username and password and click on login button, how much time it is taking to navigate to next page or navigate to home page is what the performance tester will be interested. Okay, so for example, here I am entering some username and password and I click on login button. Now, how much time it has taken to navigate to this page is important from performance tester perspective. Okay, so it might take like 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, right? So this timing is important from performance testing perspective. Okay, so here that's the reason. If you see, the non-functional testing is all about testing the non-functional aspects like performance. Performance means how much time a user is able to navigate from one page to another page. See, let's say I opened a page and there is a link on that page. Now I click on that link. Now, how much time it is taking for the user to go to next page is important from performance testing perspective. Okay. Now, what are the tools to use? Okay. So here, as part of performance testing, there are different tools available in the market like LoadRunner, JMeter, Gatling, NeoLoad, K6, etc. But the most widely used tools in the market as of now are JMeter and LoadRunner. Okay. So why? There are some, I mean, obviously there will be some pros and cons for every tool. So we'll discuss that later. Okay. But I hope you got, you know, at least a high level understanding of the difference between functional and non-functional testing. And I hope you understood what we are going to learn in this course. Okay. So we are going to focus more on this non-functional testing, especially performance and especially the load runner tool. Okay. Now, when you know what is performance, okay, now you understood what exactly is, where exactly is performance testing coming from. Now, in this agenda, the first point I mentioned is what is performance testing. So that's what I have told you. So when a user clicked a link or click a button, okay, how much time it is taking for the user to navigate from one page to another page? Like is it taking 1 second or is it taking 2 seconds or is it taking 3 seconds like that? Okay. So all in all, in simple terms, I'm not writing any textbook definition. Okay. So in simple terms, checking the performance of an application. Okay, checking the performance of an application by applying a load. Okay, is called performance testing. So you know this, you know the meaning of checking the performance of an application. Just now I explained, like when I click on some link, for example, I'm clicking this flights link. When I click that link, how much time it is taking to go to this page? Okay, it is important. Okay, now that's what we are checking the performance of an application. But important point is by applying load. Okay, what do you mean by load? So if you test this application with just one user, okay, it is not considered it is not considered as performance testing at all. Okay, obviously, when a single user is accessing the application, most probably the application will not have any issues at all. When, let's say, if 100 users are using this application at the same point of time, then we may or may not see, or we might see some performance issues like this page loading slowly or something like that. I'll tell you one generic example. So we all know lift or escalator, right? In some places we call lift, in some places we call escalator. Okay, let's say you entered a building. Okay, now you want to go to fourth floor. Now you want to go by using lift or an escalator. So you went near the lift, and okay, you went inside the lift. Okay, you are single person, right? You went inside the lift and you press 4. That means you want to go to third floor. Now, when you press 4, when you press 4, is the lift going to fourth floor or not? If it is going to fourth floor, that means it is working fine. The functionality is working fine. Functionality is working fine, no issues. But how much time it is taking to go to fourth floor? That is important from performance perspective. Is it taking 10 seconds to go to fourth floor? Is it taking 15 seconds to go to fourth floor is important. But there is one more important point. Lift or an escalator can have some maximum capacity. Okay, if you go inside a lift, there will be something written related to the lift capacity, like max 10 persons or something like that. So when there are 10 persons inside the lift and then you press 4 button, then how much time it is taking to go to fourth floor is very, very important, because here in this case you are applying some load, isn't it? Okay, so earlier a single person was there and they clicked on 4 button and the lift went to fourth floor. That means functionality wise it is working fine. It might have taken no, also it might have taken, like, let's say 10 seconds to go to fourth floor, or let's say 4, or let's say 5 seconds when a single person is there. When a single person is there, lift or an escalator took 5 seconds to go to fourth floor. Now when 10 people are on board, okay, how much time it is taking to go to fourth floor is important. This is where we are going to analyze the performance. Okay, so similarly, from the software application perspective, software application point of view, okay, when multiple users are accessing the application, and then you have to analyze the performance. That means here the term load indicates, as of now, the load indicates number of users. So you are going to check the performance of an application by applying some load. Load is nothing but number of users. Okay, let's say I'm a banking client. Now I gave a project to you saying that, hey, can you test this banking application with 100 users? Okay, now what as a performance tester, what we have to do? So we have to test the application or the banking application with 100 users. Okay, if you are testing with single user, it is not called as performance testing. Okay, it will not give you accurate results. Okay, there should be some load on the system. Load is nothing but the number of users. Okay, so in general, a generic definition, this is not any textbook definition, guys. Okay, we'll discuss the textbook definition later, because in interviews also nobody is going to ask you any textbook definition. Okay, so did you understand at a very high level what is performance testing? Okay, I'll tell you why performance testing is also important. I don't know, like, I mean, if you remember, in 2013 or 2014, I don't remember the exact year, but there was one e-commerce application at that point of time which launched the big sale for the first time. Okay, and and um, let's say, and I mean, it was something like, hey, uh, 15th of November, 12 p.m. There's a big sale. They announced it something like that. Now, what happened at that time? Normally, in normal cases, let's say 10,000 users are actively use that application. Let's say, because they announced a big sale, On that day, assume the number of users who access the application was 1 lakh, like one more. Okay, so that means the load was 10 times more. The load was 10 times more. And then what happened? The application did not respond. Application almost like crashed. Okay, so that time it was not successful. Okay, on that during that particular year it was not successful. Even they didn't assume or they didn't expect that these many users will access the application, and they might not have done testing with 1 lakh users. We don't know. Okay, all in all, in a normal days, if it is supporting X number of users, in if there is any special day or special occasion, obviously the number of users will increase, and uh, the the application team should make sure they arranged or they configured everything correctly such that it will support more number of users. Okay, so what happened? It application didn't respond, application crashed, right? So it was like it was not successful. So it means it had a huge impact on the business, isn't it? So that's the reason performance testing is very important. If performance testing is not conducted, the applications might face problems like slowness, pages loading forever, inconsistency, and may further result in business loss. Everyone agree? Okay. So every application before going live or before uh, being deployed to production for real users, okay, they should be, I mean, the application should undergo a performance testing phase. Okay, so normally why performance testing is very important, because it will have a direct impact on the business. Now normally, let's say you want to send an email, you want to attach 10 attachments and send an email. No, you are using some xyz email currently. Okay, and then you wanted to attach some 10 attachments and send an email. You attached all 10 attachments, it is taking so much time. It is not attaching properly, it is taking so much time, and the mail is not being sent on time. So one time it's okay, two times it's okay, three times it's okay. Okay, so what happens after some time? The users will get irritated and the user will switch to different email provider. Yes or no? That means they are losing business. Correct? So all in all, performance testing, if it is not done properly or if it is not done entirely, then it will eventually result in business loss, a financial business loss for sure. Okay. Now I'll tell other points later, not required now, but I just wanted to give some um, important note on why performance testing is very, very important. Okay. So if you have any questions, okay. Um, oh, are you able to hear? I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. If you have any questions, do let me know. Or you can make a note of it. We can discuss clearly at the end, because everyone will have different questions, right? Because it's the first demo session, so we can discuss here at this point. So just now we discussed what is performance testing and why performance testing at a very high level. Okay, I didn't want to go in detail, but hope you understood at a very high level what is performance testing. So hope you got some clarity about it. So shall I move to the next point, the load runner architecture? Okay, hope you're noting down the questions, or if you want to ask now, you can ask, no problem. Okay. Um, okay, let's try to understand the second point now. So I said like there are different tools in the market like JMeter, LoadRunner and all. But because this course is all about LoadRunner, now we'll try to understand LoadRunner architecture. To understand this architecture, I will uh, explain you this, or we will derive the architecture based out of some questions. Okay. Now, let's say there is a bank application. Let's say there is a bank application, and uh, that bank application project, is given to us by client. Okay, the client said, hey, you have to do performance testing for my banking application. You have to do performance testing of my banking application with 500 users. Okay, now why client mentioned 500 users? Because client is assuming that their application will be used by 500 users. Okay, now what will you do? What will we do generally if you want to test the banking application with 500 users? What will we do? Shall we bring shall we bring 500 people and give them 500 laptops or desktops and make them sit at one place and ask them to log into this banking application and perform some tasks? Can we do that? Anyone? Can we do that? Can we bring 500 people, give them 500 laptops and ask them to sit at one place and or sit at different places in fact, and then connect to and access the application? Is it possible?
No.
No.
No, definitely not possible. Okay, let's assume if it is possible. But what if the client returns and says, hey, no, I think we might have to test with more number of users. 500 is a small number, maybe, or less number, which I have already provided. Let's go with 2000 users. Now, can we bring 2000 people and give them 2000 laptops and hey, everyone log in? I want to see how my application is responding when 2000 users are accessing the application at the same point of time. See, those 2000 users, here these 2000 users might be performing different tasks. Like one user might be transferring money, one user might be downloading bank statement, one user might be paying a credit card bill. Different users might perform different tasks. Okay, but all in all, 2000 users have to be present and access the application so that uh, the team will analyze the performance. So which here in this case, it is not possible to bring 2000 people for sure. So that's the reason in the LoadRunner architecture, we have a component called load generator. So the load generator, okay, so the load generator, what is the purpose of load generator is it will simulate the users for you. It will simulate virtual users for us. Okay, so so these load generators are also a kind of machines, okay, machines, but they are highly configured. But they are highly configured. Okay, now each machine based on its configuration will support some X number of users like 500 or 1000. See how many users each load generator machine will support depends on different factors which we will discuss later, okay, in the later part of the course. But at present I can tell you that every load generator machine will be able to generate some X number of users like 500, 600, 300, 1000 like that. Now, the specialty of load generator machine is these machines are highly configured machines which will simulate or generate virtual users for you. And these virtual users will perform similar tasks like a normal human user does. Okay, like clicking a link or clicking a button or something like that. Okay, so now who will take care of generating those virtual users, 2000 users or 500 users or whatever it is? Who will take care? There is a component called load generator and it will take care of it. Okay, now you have some number of users. Now you want to test the application performance. Now, how will you test? What will you test? As I said, there are different scenarios. Okay, in a bank application, there are different scenarios. Can anyone tell, like, as just now we discussed, uh, I'll I'll just write down uh, two or three here. One is transfer money. This is very important one, correct? Download download statement, something like this. Okay, as a pay credit card bill. So these are some of the important scenarios in every banking application. Yes or no? I mean, there are others also, but I just mentioned these three. Now, from a performance tester perspective, if I want to test the application performance, I need to test the performance of all important scenarios. Okay, my performance testing should be in such a way that it is covering all the important scenarios like transfer money or download statement or paying credit card bill. Okay, like I said, like there are 2000 users, let's say. Out of those 2000 are transferring money, 500 are downloading statement, 500 are paying credit card bill. But all in all, 2000 users are accessing the application, but they might be performing different tasks like this. This is possible. But from performance tester point of view, you always remember that we need to test the performance for all the critical scenarios of that application. It could be any application. The main goal is to test the critical business scenarios. Okay. Now you can ask a question. No, sir, you are saying these three are critical. Then what is non-critical for a banking application? Let's take one example of a non-critical one. Changing user password. It is a non-critical one. Do see do users change password daily? No. That means the the usage of that particular feature or functionality is very less. But generally, every user might transfer some money daily, right? Possible, right? So that means this is a critical scenario, whereas changing password is a non-critical scenario. You can ignore you can ignore such non-critical scenarios from performance testing generally, unless the client is asking you to do so. Otherwise, you can ignore. Okay. Now you have these 2000 users ready with the help of load generator. Now I want to test the performance of transfer money scenario. How can I do that? So here in this case, generally, what are the steps that I generally do for transfer money? I launch application. I mean, I'm just telling you from a normal user perspective. First, the user will launch application. Then user will log into the application. Correct. Then user will navigate to accounts. I mean, savings account or checkings account like that. Let's say checkings account for today. Okay. So user is navigating to checkings account. Okay, then user will be select the beneficiary to whom you want to send the amount. So you select a beneficiary and then enter the amount and then you probably click transfer. Okay, or you can write these two in same line also if you want, because on the same page you do, and then click transfer and then you log out. So these are the steps a normal user performs for transferring money. Yes or no? Now I want to test the performance of this. So what I have to do is, okay, I want some of the users from this. Okay, I want the users to test these steps. But how can I make the users test these steps? How can I make the virtual users test these steps? So for that, you need to generate or record or develop a script. Okay, or you need to record or you need to generate or you need to develop a script with the help of a component called Vuegen. Vuegen is a component using which we record or we generate or we develop the scripts. Everyone understood? Everyone understood what is the purpose of this? So using this component from the tool, we actually record all these steps and generate a script. I'll show you how we will do that in some time today itself. Okay. Now you understood. Now there is a component called load generator, which is simulating users for us. And then there is a component which is actually generating the script for us. Okay. And then what is the next step? Can anyone guess the next step? What is the next step? After recording the script or after generating the script, what we have to do? Any idea?
Parameterization correlation.
We need to
Run the script.
we need to run or we need to execute it. Correct. So there is a component called controller or performance center. Okay, there's a component called controller or performance center, which using which we actually create a scenario. Okay, to run these scenarios, to run these scripts, with some number of users. So what we have to do is, whatever the script that you generated here, you need to upload it here. Whatever the script you generated here, you need to upload it to this component and configure it in such a way that it is going to run with some X number of users. Like let's say transfer money, I want to run with 500 users. So what you have to do, you just need to generate the script here and then customize it or enhance it and then upload it into this component and then configure it to run with some X number of users. Okay, so here in this component, we will create a scenario, we will configure the scenario, and then we will just trigger the execution. Okay, the actual execution will not happen here. The actual execution will not happen here, but we will just trigger the execution. Okay, now after triggering the execution, what will happen is there is some additional component called agent process. Okay, let me write it here. There is some uh, additional component called agent process, which will act as a bridge between these two, to and fro, two ways. I mean, two-way communication. Okay, so whatever the scripts we uploaded here, whatever we scenario we created here, all the scripts, files, and everything will be transferred from this component to load generator here. And then the actual execution happens here because the users are generated or users are simulated here. So in these machines, the actual execution happens. The transfer of data and the transfer of files between these two components will be taken care by agent process. Okay. Now when the entire execution happens, the data will traverse between these two components to and fro. And then finally, after execution, what will you do? Let's say you executed. Now what you want to do?
Reports.
You want to analyze the results, right? You want to understand what went right, what went wrong, um, whether there are any performance issues or anything like that. Okay, so that component is called analysis. So in this component, the actual analysis will happen. Actually, it's a very good component which will give us a detailed metrics and graphs, for us to analyze whether there was any performance issue or not, or how much time it has taken. Okay, so we will be calculating the time taken at each step level. So launching, how much time it has taken to launch; login, how much time it has taken to login; so how much time it has taken for the user to navigate to this account. So for every step, we calculate the time. Okay, so all in all, these are the different components. So you might have got some idea about these components now. I'm okay if you understood at least for 20, 30, 40%. Okay, because we are just trying to understand at a very high level. We'll be discussing in detail each component. We'll be discussing in detail later on. Okay, so any questions? Did you guys understand these components? So it's very simple architecture, nothing much. There are multiple components, and each component has a specific purpose. And we have to understand the purpose of the component, and we have to develop the scripts and configure the scenario and run it accordingly. Any questions in this architecture? You can make a note of the questions. Okay, we can discuss that at the end. So assuming all of you understood to some extent at least, because some of you might be from non-IT background, I understand. Some of you might have some idea already. Okay, so that's fine. I'm okay if you understood at least 20 to 30% of what we discussed. Okay, because I'm confident and I'm sure that you'll understand 100% very soon. So without any delay, let me go to the uh, third point in our agenda: sample, record, and replay. Can anyone tell what is the component that we will be using for this? Any guess?
Fusion.
Blaze meter.
Someone said blaze meter from. I mean, just
Fusion
curious.
is
From where did you
the
get blaze meter?
fusion is when
Correct. So from our architecture only, as we discussed. the component that we use for developing or recording or generating the scripts is Vuegen. Simple, right? So what we do for now, what I'm gonna do, because Vuegen or the LoadRunner tool is already installed on my laptop. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna launch a component called Vuegen. I'm gonna launch a component called Vuegen. Let me launch. Okay, just type Vuegen. You'll see this icon and you click on it. Okay, it is launching a Vuegen. So this is how it will look like, the Vuegen. Now, um, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply click on, I mean, here there are different menu options. We'll discuss each of one of those as and when required. And this is all about the recent scripts or recent activity that I have done. And these are all the new features and all those things, some information about that. But what we are going to do is click on File. Okay, for now, for today. Okay, click on File, New Script and Solution, New Script and Solution. Now, when you click on New Script and Solution, here it will give a pop-up window where we need to choose the protocol. Okay, so don't think too much about it. I'm selecting this protocol for today. I'll tell you what is this protocol probably day after tomorrow in detail. Okay, so uh, I mean, basically at a very high level, the protocol that I have selected here is used to develop or record the scripts for web applications. So any application which runs on the browser, which starts with HTTP or HTTPS, I'm going to use this protocol. Okay. So it's as simple as that. And then where I'm going to save it. Okay. So I can give a path or like, I can give some data here and I can write like, demo script for today. I'm not going to write anything in detail, but just to understand, this is a script name and this is where we are saving it, and click on create. Okay, so it is creating the script for us, a blank script for us. So now here, this is how the UI looks like once you create a empty script. Now here you see a solution explorer where we have a different options, and each of these options we'll discuss in detail very soon. Okay, so uh, and here the script that you record or generate will be displayed here. Okay, and these are different menu options. Okay, all options enabled, you can see here. We will use all these options as and when required. Now, in just because this is just demo session and I want to record a simple flow for you, and then I want to replay, right? So what is the flow that I'm going to record today is I'm going to record three simple steps. One is launch application. Okay. Second one is log into the application. Third one is log out of the application. So these three steps only I'm going to do. Which application? This application, this sample application. Okay. One second. This sample application. I can just copy the URL also here. I'll share that URL details and all. I mean, because this is demo session, I'm using this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch this application. I'm going to log in, I'm going to log out, and I'm going to find out how much time it is taking to launch the application, how much time it is taking to log into the application, how much time it is taking to log out of the application. Okay, we'll just try to understand it at a very high level. So now to record these three steps, what I have to do. So obviously, I mean, before you record, right, we generally execute it manually so that you are good to go. You don't want to interrupt or pause or stop script recording. So as a good practice, every performance tester will manually execute the flow once or twice. Okay, and then you go ahead and record the script. So I'm launching this application, then I'm gonna enter the username like this and password, and then I'm gonna click on a login, and then I'm gonna click on sign off like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on sign off. So now go to the tool. there are different options to record. Like you can click on this record icon directly, or you can use this record menu option and then click on record, or you can use a shortcut Control plus R. So 99.9999% of the performance testers will use this option because it's a pretty straightforward here. Okay. So now what happens is when I click on this icon, what will happen? A pop-up window will appear, okay, asking us to select some details. So for time being, what I will do is I will ignore this. I'll explain you this probably in a couple of days. Um, so here I'm gonna select the browser first, which browser I want to use for recording. Okay, so let's say I will choose Mozilla Firefox. Okay, uh, if you don't see any of the browser that you want here, I'll tell you how to add it probably in couple of days again. Okay, so for time being, let's select Mozilla Firefox, and then here you need to enter the application URL, that is this one, the application URL that you want to test. So I'm gonna enter that application URL here like this. And then I'm not going to do anything more here. I just selected the browser, enter the application URL that I want to record, and then click on start recording. We'll see these options later. Okay. I'm just clicking on start recording. See, when I click on start recording, what will happen is the Mozilla Firefox browser will be launched with the given URL. See, you will see a Mozilla Firefox browser soon. It will be launched with the given URL. Okay. See, is it did it launch Mozilla Firefox? Yes. Why? Because I have selected Mozilla Firefox. Is it going to launch the application? Yes, it's going to launch the application. It's a sample application, web tours. Okay. So did it launch it? Yes. See, now at the same time, I see a movable window here, which is very, very important. And you see a similar movable window in JMeter also, but this is more effective. Okay, this is more tester friendly and more having more features. Okay, uh, now you in this mobile window, you see some number which keeps on increasing. Okay, so when the number keeps on increasing, it is actually a good sign. Okay, that means uh, the tool is able to understand your application and record your application successfully. If the number doesn't increase even after performing some user actions, then you need to think alternative way. We'll discuss that later, what is alternative and all. But the very important thing is the number will keep on increasing as and when you click on a link or you perform some actions on the UI, the number keeps on increasing. Okay, and then you have different options like stop recording, pause recording, cancel recording. Okay, this one we'll see later. And then again, these two we'll see later instance, like maybe in 3-4 sessions, after 3-4 sessions. And then you have option to comment some checkpoints concept. There are different options. I'll tell you all these options we'll discuss later, but one thing I'll focus today is these two. So one is say I'll do a mouse over on it. It says insert start transaction. I'll do a mouse over on other one, which is currently disabled. It says insert end transaction. So in the insert and start transaction, insert end transaction. So what we have to do is before you perform any action on the UI, first you have to click on the insert start transaction. And then you have to enter the name of the action that you are going to perform. So what is the action that we are going to perform now? Can anyone tell me what is the action that we are going to perform?
Login.
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 Yeah, you can give login. Good. I mean, we'll discuss the naming convention later, but as of now, login is a good name to give. So I just entered login and click OK. Now, when I click OK, you can see this insert end transaction also enabled, but don't click it. Okay. So when you have to click it, when you go and perform the action on the UI, and then after wait for a few seconds, and then you need to click on this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, enter the username and password and click on login button. And once this page is loaded, whatever you're seeing, Okay, you see this page loaded successfully, or you wait for 5 seconds, at least 5 to 6 seconds, and then you click on end transaction, insert end transaction. That means you are ending login. Login is done, you are ending it. Now, what is the next transaction? The next transaction, can anyone tell? I'm clicking on insert start
Sign off.
transaction. Yeah, you can tell log off or sign off, whatever it is, sign out, whatever it is. I'm clicking on OK, and then I'm not going to click on insert end transaction. Rather, first I'm going to click on sign off button, which is on the left hand side menu. So I'm going to click on sign off and wait for few seconds, and then click on insert end transaction and end this particular transaction, log off. Okay, and because all the steps we have recorded as per our initial discussion, now I'm going to stop recording. Now when you click on stop recording, okay, what will happen? The tool will generate the script for you. Okay, the tool will generate some script for you. So okay, it recorded some script, it gave you some recording report. We'll discuss this later. But if you switch to action here, see, it generated some code for you. How many lines of code it generated? Around approximately some 50 or 55 lines of 50 or 55 lines of code it generated. See, very clear. Now, um, try to understand this code in a simple way. I'll tell you. Okay, first, uh, let me know if you are able to see the screen clearly. Okay, there is. Hope you are able to see the each and every line clearly. Now, see line number 18 first. Okay, what it is saying? LR start transaction login. From where this line got generated? And can anyone remember? So if you remember few minutes ago, there was a mobile pop-up window where there is a button called insert start transaction, and there I have given login name. So when I started insert start transaction, this piece of code got generated. It says login is starting here. If you scroll down a little bit, you see line number 37, LR end transaction login. That means here the login is ending. So you know that insert end transaction button. Okay, when you click on it, this line got generated. See, LR end transaction. Okay, this line got generated, LR end transaction. So what it means? The line number start 18, it is start, we are starting login. Line number 37, we are ending login. In between, whatever is there, that code or that request is related to login. You see, the username I entered Jojo and password I entered is Bean. It is giving you that information clearly, right? So this piece of code is related to login. If you scroll down a little bit, line number 41, you see LR, again LR start transaction, but this time it is log off. And if you see line number 53, LR end transaction log off. That means we are starting log off here and we are ending log off here. In between, whatever you have, that code or that request is related to sign off or log off. Everyone understood? I mean, are you trying to understand how the code is getting generated? If you scroll up little bit, okay, here we are starting login. That's fine. We understood that this is login. Can anyone tell what is this? What is this request here?
Launching of the URL.
Launching of the application. Correct. Because before login, we launched the application. But if you observe carefully, there is no LR start transaction or there is no LR end transaction for launch. Why? Because while when I started recording, see when I click on this record button, okay, um, I saw that insert start transaction and insert end transaction options only after clicking on this button, and then the mobile window appeared, and on that mobile window we have insert start transaction, insert end transaction. Upon clicking on it, we see this piece of code. But before actually going there, before actually seeing that mobile window itself, we actually launched the application. How? By clicking on start recording. When you click on start recording, this browser already launched with this URL. with this URL, right? This link. So that's the reason you don't see a LR start transaction or LR end transaction for this. However, you can add it. You can write like this, LR start transaction like this. You can write. You can write on your own like this. Okay. I mean, LR start transaction is basically a function which is actually starting the transaction that you are entering here, the name. So where exactly I have to write LR end transaction? Can anyone tell where exactly we need to write LR end transaction?
Number 17.
Yeah, after, yeah, correct. After 16, yeah, anywhere after 16 you can write.
After the request, we have to write the LRN transaction.
Yeah, correct. So that means after line number 16. So here the request is ending. So here we need to write LR end transaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just writing it. Whatever the name you pass here, the same name you need to pass here also. And then you need to write LR underscore auto. See, this is auto generated. You don't no need to worry. But we just wrote it today just for our understanding purpose. Let's say these two are not there. You don't want to write these two especially. Now you have two options here. LR insert start transaction, insert end transaction. So place the cursor where you want to insert start transaction. Click on it. See it generated automatically, and just you give the name. That's it. Okay. And where you want to end it, line number 19, you just click on insert end transaction. See, automatically it is giving you the syntax. You just need to pass the name. That's it. So that's it. So that's the script is generated. Okay. Now ignore this for time being, ignore this for time being. We'll discuss in very soon in our upcoming sessions. But all in all, you have three transactions now: launch, login, and then log off. That's it. Now you can customize this script, or how to customize, what to customize, we'll see later. But I'm going to replay this script now. I'm going to replay this script. I'm going to replay this script. How do you replay? Simple. There is a run button over here. There is a replay button or run button. Just click on it. It will automatically run, and it will give you the result also. I'll tell you. Okay, just for understanding purpose, only for today's session. Okay. So what it has given us after executing is script is passed. I just clicked on this, right? So script is passed, and clearly you see launch, login, log off. Launch has taken 0.325 seconds. Login has taken 0.092 seconds. Log off has taken 0.172 seconds. The overall time it has taken is 2.165 seconds. Everyone understood? So how it is showing the result, you understood at a very high level. Okay, but it's a different thing, like why it is giving here. But when it is giving here, then what is the purpose of controller or performance center where we need to trigger the execution? Okay, we'll see later. I mean, why this is there? Just to make sure whatever the script that you developed, is that working or not? It is showing us. That's it. With some number, like how much time it has taken. Okay, simple. Did we? But okay. Did we mention with how many users we ran the script now? So with how many users we ran the script now? Any idea?
One user.
One user only. Did I mention anywhere 100 users, 1000 users like that? No. So in Vuegen, you can develop the script and run it with one user only. If you want to run with multiple users, then you have to switch to controller or performance center. Okay, switch to instance, the script, whatever I recorded here just now, I need to upload it here. And this component will give us the option to configure or create a scenario with multiple users. We'll see that later, the practical sessions. Okay. So all in all, I hope you understood these three important points for our initial demo session. So if you have any questions so far, just make a note of it very quickly. So I'll not take much time now. I'll just go through the course content quickly so that you'll get some idea, and then we can discuss the things. So this course, LoadRunner Basic to Advanced, this is a course content, and here we are going to discuss the important points. Something like, we will begin with architecture basics, introduction to performance testing life cycle, introduction to LoadRunner, how do you install it, how do you record and replay, features of Vusion tool, different features of Vusion tool, and then best scripting practices in Vusion. What are the best scripting practices? Okay, and then what are the runtime settings that you need to enable while running the scripts? Okay, and then how do you record? What are the different recording options? Just now I recorded the script, right, in Vusion. Similarly, do we have any other options to record, and so on so? And then some important points like checkpoints. Checkpoints, like it's like validating the pages. Okay, it's like assertions. If you have ever heard a term called assertions, it is same. Okay, and then
JMeter it is there.
yeah, so obviously, yeah. So what happens is, in LoadRunner we call it as checkpoints. In JMeter we call it as assertions. I don't know if you know automation tool like UFT. In UFT we call checkpoints. In Selenium we call assertions. Okay, so that's how it is. Then it comes the important uh, point. Okay, so most of the participants ask me, when I say introduction to C language, then they will immediately ask me, sir, is coding required for this tool, to learn this tool? Okay, so I will say yes, but only very basics. Okay, you need not learn you need not learn entire core Java or in something like that to learn automation, right? If you want to learn Selenium, what do you have to know? You have to know core Java, you have to know collections, okay? You have to know Selenium concepts, you have to know test engine. So many things are there. Here, the most important thing is to understand the basics of the C programming language, and the basics in sense, just these variables, data types, if statements, loops, select case statements, functions. So we cover these in like 4 sessions, 3 to 4 sessions separately. Okay, because guys coming from non-IT, they need little more push, right, to learn or grasp quickly. So that's the reason. I mean, ideally all these concepts can be explained in one session only, but I took like 3 sessions. I kept like 3 sessions for those because I want to go a little bit slow, because these are very very important for you to customize or enhance the script. Okay, that's the reason. With practical examples I have to show, right? That's the reason. So it just takes like very basic concepts. We'll cover it.
Selenium demo
Okay.
class. Okay.
And then
Today,
some C language inbuilt functions and all. And then one important concept in C language is, how do you write data to a notepad file? How do you read data from a notepad file? Something like that. And I'll tell you some real-time challenges from interview point of view and all that stuff. Okay, after that, there is one important concept called correlation, which we will discuss for like 3 to 4 sessions again. It is very, very important concept. So this concept is present in every performance testing tool. Like in JMeter also we use this tool. Here also we use this tool. Sorry, concept. So the way we implement this concept in LoadRunner is different and JMeter is different, but overall the concept is same. The meaning is same. Okay, and
LR
then
underscore param underscore random is used for which one?
this is just one function. Um like it will use it, it is used as part of I mean as an extension topic to correlation. So when you use correlation, there is something called like, you capture all the values by giving ordinal equal to all, if you know already. So when you want to capture a random value from the list of values, see, let's say here, one second. Okay, so let me show you one. I mean, show you in sense like where exactly I'll use it. So let's say here you have like 10 city names. I want to select any city name randomly. Okay, I don't want to select the same city name again and again. I want to select anyone randomly. So there, what I have to do is I will use correlation. And using correlation, along with correlation, I'll use something called uh, these functions to capture a random value and pass or select that random value there. Okay, so we'll see that. So different functions will be used in relation to this concept. Okay, and then this is important. Like we'll cover like 3 to 4 sessions, and then we go with parameterization. Very important. This again the same concept is there in JMeter also. Here also it is there. The implementation will be different. This is more easy to implement than JMeter. Okay, especially parameterization. That's fine. So till here we are actually completing the scripting part. Okay, very important scripting part. Okay, from here we are going to start how to create a scenario, how to configure a scenario. Okay, like that. So there are different types of performance tests like load test, scalability test, endurance test, like that. So we'll see what are those tests and how those will be configured and all that stuff. And then we analyze the results. Okay, what are the different graphs that we monitor, what are the different graphs that we analyze and all that stuff. And after that, uh, analyzing results in detail, and then drafting an email to client with all the observations. See, end of the day, you run a performance test. Now it, as a performance tester, your job is to tell whether the performance is good or bad, right? So that's the reason we draft an email with all the observations to client. Okay, very important. And then as part of this course we'll discuss the interview question and answers. At the same time we practice on multiple applications. Okay, it's not like the application which I'm showing here. This is just one application, but we'll be practicing multiple applications. Okay, because the more number of applications you practice, the more easy it will be for you. Okay, I mean when you go to the real-time project, it will be easy for you. And then there is something called virtual table server. This is a different concept. I'll tell you, it is in sync with parameterization, but it's a different concept altogether. And then apart from this, we will also cover these bonus topics which are related to performance testing but not specifically related to LoadRunner. Okay, some of these are like fiddler and har file scripting, APM tools, application monitoring tools. Okay, 1 second, guys, sorry. Okay, application monitoring tools like AppDynamics, Dynatrace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a live session of either AppDynamics or Dynatrace. Okay, or let me make it clear. So I'm going to take a live session of Dynatrace and give a recorded session of AppDynamics. Okay, so either one of the tool I will surely take a live session. That means when I take a live session, so when you run the load test, how the metrics are coming in other tools like these monitoring tools. Okay, I'll show you in live session because these are very important for performance tester. In every interview, this is a mandatory. Even every job description, the APM tool is mandatory. It could be Dynatrace or it could be AppDynamics or anything, but these two are most widely used in the market. Okay, and then I'll just take one additional session on true client protocol. That is some other protocol, and we'll also discuss some advanced topics like some high level information on these topics like head thread dumps and heap dumps, because these are all related to performance testing. Though they are directly not related to LoadRunner, but these are all related to performance testing and will be asked in the interviews for sure. And then there is something called load balancer algorithms, which for which you might get a question in interview. And then I will give you a recorded sessions for these two also. How do you connect to database to LoadRunner? Okay, and what are AWR reports? So I'll give you recorded sessions. So I'll give you recorded sessions for this and these two. Remaining all I'll take care. Okay, I'll explain it live. So apart from UI, I will also explain you the web services also. How to do performance testing for web services. Okay, and also not recorded sessions. I'll take one live session only, and then additionally I'll give you recorded sessions also. Apart from this, okay, apart from this, there will be there is another recorded sessions that you will get, that is LRE. So LRE recorded sessions, you will get it. Basically, in some projects, they are using the web version of controller. See, there is something called controller here, right? So in the recent, in some projects, they are using something called LRE, which is a web version okay, or an enterprise version of this performance center. So I will give you a recorded sessions, like it will contain like 10 or 12 sessions, I guess. So very, very, very important. And in these sessions only, uh, we covered the end-to-end flow also. Like if you are assigned to some project, what you have to do from scratch. Okay, you join some project, what you have to do, where you have to start from scratch. Okay, from starting to ending of the project is what we have explained there. So those recorded sessions also are part of this. Okay, now I will open the questions for any Q&A. If you have any questions, do let me know.
Yeah, hi. How many days you are planning for taking this,
uh,
completing this total?
Generally it will be like anywhere between 35 to 40 sessions.
Okay, 46.
Yeah, and it depends on batch to batch. Some batches I take like 42, some batches 39, some batches 40, like that, but anywhere between 35 to 42
Okay.
or 36
So,
or 40.
any real-time application you are going to
Yeah, so
perform?
that's here I mentioned, right? So here
Yeah, five
practicing
different.
on multiple applications, right? So uh, we have our own application, ishatrainingsolutions.com. Okay,
Mhm.
so which is specifically designed uh, to master scripting, which is specifically designed to master scripting from basic to advanced. So what in real-time applications, whatever you get, all those basic and complex scenarios we have added here in this application. Okay,
Okay.
AsiaTrainingSolutions.com. Okay, let me check the. I mean the site is down. Might be currently. I'll make sure it is up and running when we
Okay.
discuss this class. But we have our own
Hi
application
guys, welcome.
where
Welcome
we
to the demo
discuss or
class
do
for
scripting, advanced
Selenium
scripting.
C
Multiple
Sharp.
real-time
Okay,
parameters
so
by
this
Yes,
is your
should be.
instructor,
yes,
Saida
everything
Ruxana
because
Banu.
I mean
You
I
can
have worked
address me
on
as Banu.
many
And let
applications
me
so far
just
in my
give you a
career. I can
small
tell you this
introduction
application
about
is
me.
very good to
Okay,
learn advanced scripting
so
for sure.
I'm a QA
Okay,
instructor.
when you come to
Okay,
that
with 10
application and you see
years
that
of track
application, you'll
record.
see,
Currently, I'm
sir,
working
till now
as
whatever
a
we have
QA
learned
automation
scripting, this
lead at a top
application is next
MNC,
level. It is having so
where I
many
have been
challenges
helping many
like that.
QA
So
members
why we are trying to
mastering
cover
their
multiple
testing
applications
skills
is, see,
and
every
many
application
students
will be little
transforming
different.
their
Every
careers as
application might have
automation
some challenges.
engineers.
The more number of
As a
applications you
QA
practice,
engineer
the more easy it will be for you to master
with
scripting.
nearly a decade
Okay,
of
why I'm
experience,
focusing or
I have
stressing
built this
this much
course
on scripting is
strategically
in real
focusing
time.
on
In real time,
practical skills,
nobody will
right?
assist
So
you in
in any career
scripting.
growth,
Okay,
we
it will
need the
take time for
practical knowledge
everyone,
rather
right?
than a
So you and
theoretical.
your colleague have joined
So
some
here
project.
in this
Your
course,
colleague knows everything
definitely
and you
I'm
know
going
little
to
bit
share my
scripting,
knowledge
and they
and
assign you
I
some
will
project
provide
and you
you
want to
the
do some
practical examples,
scripting, and
hands-on
you're stuck somewhere.
experience
Okay,
where from
you
which you
ask, you
can
go and
excel
ask
your
your
course.
colleague will not
So
help.
this course has
See,
been
one day
designed
he
in
might
such a
help
way
or they
that
might help, but
I
daily
am
they will
not
not help, right?
assuming
So,
any
and
candidate
this is a
having
main important thing
background
where
coding
every
knowledge.
performance tester
So I'm
will
assuming
have to
that
learn. Okay,
all the
they should
students
not
here are
depend on
from the
others. So
non-background
scripting is very, very
knowledge,
important.
coding
Execution
skills.
and analysis,
So from this
it's very
course, you
simple.
will
Very, I mean,
gain
simple
not
in sense
only
you can
up-to-date
learn on the
knowledge
fly also.
about C
In
Sharp
sense like your
Selenium,
colleague
but
is
also
executing.
the relevant job
If he
knowledge.
will share the screen and
So
just explain
yeah,
you one
how
day,
my
that is
course
enough for
have
you to
changed the
run
other
your
lives. I
project at
hope
least,
this
right?
change will help you for your
Analysis,
betterment.
like based
Okay,
on your
so if you are
project
already in a job,
reports, already existing
definitely
reports,
it
you
will
can
be
also
helpful
send
to
your
excel in
reports
your
by analyzing.
career.
But
And if
scripting,
someone is looking for a
nobody's
job
going
where
to
they
assist you for
want to
sure. I
get
have seen many
opportunities in
performance
C Sharp
testers
Selenium,
joining projects
definitely
and
from
having
this course,
issues
you
in
can
scripting.
achieve your
They don't
QA career
practice. I
goals.
suggest the more
So
applications you
yes,
practice, the
so
more easy
this
it will
was
be
my
for you
brief
in real-time
introduction.
projects.
So let's just move on to the
Okay, thank you.
Selenium
Okay.
demo
So
class.
any other
Okay.
questions?
Today this
Yes,
session will be having
by
a small
completing this
demo
course, I'll be able to
introduction
show some
on
experience as a
Selenium
performance tester.
WebDriver from
Yes.
scratch. Okay,
So
let me
because we are
share my
practicing on
screen here.
multiple number of applications, and you are going to learn end-to-end execution and project execution and all, definitely you
Okay,
can go ahead and say that
take
you
a
have
couple
like
of minutes
minimum
to
3 and
share.
maximum 5 years of experience by using this.
Okay.
Okay. I cannot tell like 10 years and all, because when you say 8 years,
Okay,
10
cool.
years and all, they will focus
So
more on
I have
engineering
started
side,
sharing
and
my screen.
also
Hope you all are
like
able
lead level
to
activities and all that
see.
stuff will also come into picture.
Okay,
So
Fine.
for this course,
Now,
you can
as I
happily
have already
go ahead and
told,
say
Ah,
that you have
this
like
is
3 to 5 years
course
of
will
experience for
have
sure.
a brief
ah,
introduction
ಹೇಳಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ.
Okay.
of
Any questions?
Selenium.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This is a demo class
Yes,
where I will explain
I
you
have one question. Like, see,
Selenium with C#.
there is an
Okay,
applications,
so let us
scripting level, there is
Ah,
understand
challenges like
first
correlation
what
and
is
recording stuff.
Selenium C#.
Major
Okay,
challenges I
so what
Hmm.
you can
come for the
expect
ये जो
from
आकाश,
this
like
course
ये जो
One
मीटअप
second.
and
how
I
करके
will.
how
आकाश
I will
ने
can
just.
बोला,
you
Sorry.
be a master
मीटअप
in
करके
Just.
बोला
Selenium
क्या ऐसा 10
C#
I'll
सेकंड
just.
में ना.
from basics to
Okay. Go
framework
ahead now.
level.
Yeah.
By end of this course, you will
yeah,
have a
how many
fully
ways
fledged
you will be
knowledge with the practical
teaching the
skills
correlation
from
types like
basic
and
to
recording types
developing a
and how many
framework
protocols you
from
are
the
going to use
scratch to
this in this
Okay.
framework.
course.
So
Okay,
yeah.
so
So
first,
here, if you go to
I
any
don't think
interview,
you
they
really
will
need
ask you
introduction
at
to
least
this
two,
keyword
at least
called
two
Selenium,
protocols in
right?
interviews. Okay.
So
So if you
Selenium
know three,
is
well and
one
good. So
which
first
is
thing
a
is we are
tool which
covering
help us to
a web
automate
application
the
because majority of the
process, correct?
applications
So
nowadays are
in
web
the market,
applications.
there are n number of
So
automation tools, but
everything, every
Selenium is
application which
ruling
starts
the
with
world. It
HTTP,
is on the
HTTPS, we will
top
anyways cover it.
most
The second
position. Why?
protocol
Because
that we
of its
cover is
open
client.
source, correct?
Okay. The
So
third protocol that we
if
cover
you
is web
want to
services.
automate your web
And one
application,
more protocol for
Selenium
which I will
is
give a recorded
one
session is
of
the
the
JavaScript
tool
protocol
which
for
can
connecting to
provide you that
to database through
facility.
LoadRunner. So
Selenium
I'll try
is
to
the
take a live
leading
session at that
functional
time,
automation
but
tool, guys, in
in
the
worst
market.
case, I will
So
give
if
you a
you
recorded
are
session.
having a good
So
knowledge on
in
Selenium
using this,
with
we are going
rest
to,
of the
sorry, in this session, we are going to use
programming
a
language,
JavaScript
like for
protocol.
example,
So all
Java,
in all, in this
Python,
course, you are going to
so
cover
you
like
can
4
just
protocols.
quickly learn the programming language and
Oh,
start doing the
okay. And
automations.
so
Correct?
yeah, correlation part. So
Yes.
how many
So
ways you will be
from the last
teach
6 years,
uh,
guys,
if
it's
there is an
just
SSO
ruling the
token and
world in
there is
functional
a token is
automation,
expired, which is you are using
right?
Yeah,
a
So
correlation
correct.
level,
Selenium
dynamic value
supports
is
different
expired.
Yeah.
So
browsers
So
that you can
those
run
things are
tests
the
in Chrome,
yeah, yeah.
in
So
Safari, in
we will use it. So
Firefox,
you are
correct?
able to say in
It's
this
a
course.
yeah,
That's what I
I'll
mean.
tell you that,
from the
yeah, the
last six years,
advanced
guys,
correlation we will be
it's
covering.
just ruling the
Not
world
only
in
not only
functional
tokens,
automation,
not only
right?
user
So
sessions, but
Selenium supports
like
different
there are different
browsers
challenges
that you
also. For
can
example,
run
in this
tests
application,
in Chrome,
actually the
in
page is
Safari, in
not loading. Let
Firefox.
me check. Isha
Correct? That's the
Training
beautiful thing
Solutions.com.
about
Okay,
the Selenium, that it
I'll
supports
ask
the
them to check it.
multiple
So what
browsers.
happens is in this
You can
application,
actually automating any
once you
browser
enter
using
username and
Selenium.
password,
And
once you
more
enter username and password,
importantly,
you will not go to
Selenium
home
comes
page.
with a
You will get a security
different
question.
language bindings,
Okay,
right?
unless
That
you
you can
answer the
write the
security question,
code
you
in
will not be able to go
Java,
forward. But you
C
don't know which
Sharp,
security question you will get.
Python,
So
and
even those
PHP.
complex
So
scenarios also
this
we are
was
going to
completely
handle.
basically like what is Selenium, exactly how
Okay.
it is
So
supporting,
if some of
how
the
these are different
parties listening
languages,
in
why
live
C
and
Sharp
got
Selenium is
any sessions
on the
or
top.
got
So from
handled,
this tutorial, we are
so
going to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you will
we
how
are
teach
to
going
on
to
that
cover.
like
automate
Yeah,
Selenium
so
using
correct. So
C Sharp.
all
Okay,
those are already part of the
so I
course.
hope this
So
was clear.
if the header
If
is
this is
missing,
fine,
what you have to
let me
do?
just move on to the
If
further
you
things.
recorded
So
successfully,
in
but
this
while replaying the
tutorial,
script is
okay,
failing, what you
we
have
are
to do?
going
How do you
to
compare the recording request versus
understand
replay request? How do you
why
pass header
I have chosen
you know
to give training in C
explicitly?
Sharp
So all these things we'll cover
automations with
as part of
Selenium,
the
and
course.
why
So that's
you
the reason I
have
told
to
you this
choose to
application
learn
is
this.
very important. It will make you learn many concepts for sure, this application.
okay,
Okay.
got it. And coming to the workload model, so you will introduce the workload model like
Yes.
how to
So that yeah. So I mean, this week itself, I'm going to explain you theoretically what is workload modeling and what is Little's law and all, and I'll
Particular
tell one couple
bindings.
of examples also.
So firstly,
But practically, we
C
will
Sharp.
see
C Sharp
after completing
is
the
an
scripting part,
object
because you need to know scripting, you need to know how much
oriented
time it is taking for each
language
iteration and all.
developed by
So that is
the
actually part of the
Microsoft,
course. So
right?
this week itself, we are
So
going to cover one
Microsoft,
full session for
obviously,
workload modeling,
this is
and then some
one
points which are
tech
pending we will cover at the
giant
end of the course
lead
while
which is
executing.
ruling the whole
you
industry,
will be introduced for
and
MQ
this C
related
Sharp
things.
is coming from
No,
that
here as part of this
tech
course,
lead
we are
called
not covering
Microsoft.
MQ, but web services are there, right?
And
So
this
we can manage. Or
complete language
if there is
runs
any
on
sample
.NET
queues
framework.
available online that I can
Okay,
push a message, I'll see.
so
It's
if we
not a big
take
thing. Actually,
Java,
that is very easy than a
it
UI.
runs on Java
Okay.
runtime. Okay,
So
and if we
dropping a
take
message in the queue is easy than
JavaScript, it runs on Node.js,
and then a
right?
UI application.
Likewise, if we take
Yes, I agree,
similarly,
but
C Sharp language
extra
runs on
coding and
the
also there's
.NET
some
platform.
part of coding we
Okay,
need to write,
so
right? So
this is one of
based
the
on that,
most
we
popular
getting the
and
Yeah, but
widely
applications
used for all
moving.
the
this course
Windows
it is
related,
not it is not
okay,
covered
for
actually.
all the
But
Windows
I'll see
related
if there is any
apps and
queue that I can drop
gamings.
or push messages
This is very
that is
important,
available. I
guys.
can
If
show
you
you.
go to
No problem.
any company where they develop
And
gaming,
monitoring part,
C Sharp
so
is
how
everywhere.
many
For
tools? I
all
mean,
gaming
AppDynamics and
related
Dynatrace,
software, C Sharp
I
is
did that.
heavily
So
used.
how we will
And more
be
importantly, it's not just for
introduced like
Windows apps. It is
introduced
for
once
developing
I'm using
Android
a 12
application.
server. One of the
Okay,
server is
it
failing.
is for
So how can
developing
we find out?
iOS
And each
application.
server, how can we
Yeah,
Okay,
monitor?
so
Is that
basically we
one of
can
the
we
big
can
develop
use
application?
Android and
these tools
iOS
like
apps
AppDynamics or
on
Dynatrace.
Xamarin
That's
platform,
the main
and this
purpose of APM
Xamarin
tools.
platform
So
uses
application
C
monitoring
Sharp.
tools, like
Okay,
they
so
have
if you
complete
see,
control on
C
the
Sharp
servers
is
that you are testing,
completely used in the
and
software
each
world.
tool
All the apps,
have its own capabilities
Xamarin
to tell you
platforms,
which server is
Windows
down, which
apps,
server is slow,
iOS
which
apps,
server has more number of
Androids,
errors,
gaming apps,
which server is taking more
everywhere
time,
it
which
is
server
developed
crashed. All these things,
mostly in common with the
these
C
tools
Sharp
can
language.
help you
So C Sharp
to
is
analyze
everywhere,
and get the
right?
details. Okay,
And the demand
so
of
that's
the
the
C
reason
Sharp
this
is
recorded
going
session I'll give
exponentially
this
from
tool, and this
year to
live session I'll
year.
take. So when I
So
say live
this
session,
is
Okay,
where
DB
we
level
C
also will
Sharp
be introduced, right?
automation
every
engineers come into picture.
everything
When
it will
everything,
I mean
most of
the
the
tools
applications
these
are
tools will
developed in
show
C Sharp,
everything, like
definitely they will
like
require
the
C
server
Sharp test engineers
slowness,
for the
which
automation
method is
purpose
taking so
as
much
well,
time, or which
right?
database query is taking
So
time.
we can
It will
see a
give the query
lot of
also.
bright future for C Sharp
Okay, okay,
because
okay, okay,
every version
Okay,
of the
yeah.
C
so
Sharp
any other
is
questions?
being released by
Yeah,
the
I'm good. Yeah,
Microsoft
thank you.
team, correct? And you know that
Yeah, so
Microsoft
CI/CD Jenkins,
team is
I will
not
just
going
tell
to simply
uh,
sit, right?
at a high
They
level,
are
like what is
definitely
Jenkins
going
all
to
about, where we
add the,
exactly use it,
some
and
cool
I
features.
will trigger
Obviously,
a
right?
LoadRunner local
There are
scenario
many
from
endless
Jenkins. So let's say I
iterations
have a
and
scenario,
they keep
okay,
on
in my
enhancing their
local machine,
product,
in my
and
machine.
they will make
I
very,
will
very
trigger that
cool
scenario
features
using
available
Jenkins,
for the
okay, and show
developers
you,
and
like,
also for the
where
testers.
Jenkins is coming into
So
picture, why
C Sharp
performance
is one
testers
of
need
the
Jenkins.
third
Is
programming
it really
language,
useful,
okay,
or
which is in
is
demand
every
in the
performance
current
testing project
market,
implementing
right?
Jenkins? So all
So
these things
maybe
we'll
in the
discuss.
upcoming years,
So
we can see
that
up to
is
the rank
like
first
a
or
simple
second. We
session
don't know
additionally
if
covered
the
for the
right now the demand is in the third position in the complete market.
course
So
fee.
that's how we see many new
I
features
will
releasing on
give you
every
the
iteration, and
contact
Android
details.
supports are
Let me stop
across the
recording here.
corners of the world. So due to the C Sharp and Selenium is growing exponentially, the demand is also increasing, both for the developers and for the C Sharp automation testers. Okay. So this codes, what you are seeing here, this has been designed into the three parts, right? So this has been designed into the three parts. So firstly, this goes assuming that we don't have any prior knowledge on Selenium or C Sharp. I'm assuming my students are coming from the non-coding background, and I take everything in this course required for automation starting from the scratch. Okay. So C Sharp, it's a huge world, guys. It's a big, huge world in itself. So we definitely need 30 to 40 hours in order to completely learn C Sharp along with the automations. Okay. But time being, we will pick the fundamentals and what we really require for Selenium automations. Okay. So if you see here, the part one, this course kickstarts with C Sharp fundamentals, which are required for the automation, right? So parallelly, we are going to learn the Selenium and also the C Sharp. This will be the starting journey of our tutorial. Okay, so in part one, I will exclusively discuss on C Sharp fundamentals, and then we will move to part two. Okay, so part two is a comprehensive Selenium C Sharp automation learning with more than 25 plus real-time examples. So in this part 2, you will see end to end everything that you have to know about Selenium with C# combination. So what APIs Selenium supports, what we are learning as part of this course, and this part 3, guys, which you are seeing here. This part 3, this is one of my favorite, and definitely you guys will also like it, because in this part 3 we are going to build a Selenium framework starting from scratch. Yes, we are going to build the Selenium C# framework from the scratch level. Okay, so I'll start everything line by line, covering each and every topic, whatever I have mentioned in the course content. So there won't be like any skipping of the topic. We will have a checkbox list. So as we keep on growing towards our content, we will just keep maintain a checkbox list so that we are going to cover everything in details. Okay. So these are some of the introductory class which I have given you. Okay, so I just want to tell you what and all in a higher level, what and all the things that I am going to complete as part of the demo class. Okay, so this course of this the three different parts, what you are seeing, I have logically arranged the sequence. Okay, so I'm keeping my mindset that by end of this course, you will be able to master in the Selenium C# automation. Okay, not only this, in this course, I am going to include the quizzes wherever it is necessary, and I will give you some good number of practice assignments for you to go ahead and have a hands-on experience on the Selenium session. Okay, and I have included some interview questions also, where you will be able to easily crack the interviews, right? So yes, wherever the extra support is needed, definitely I'm there to help you out. Okay, so this is just an introductory class. So we will kickstart the actual core concepts from the next lecture. Okay, where I'm going to tell you to install the Visual Studio, kickstart the basic C# program, and from there we will start picking up the C# fundamentals. Okay, so yes, this is pretty much about today's demo session, guys. I hope you have liked this, and I hope by the end of this session, if you are already working in a company, you will be able to excel in your career. And if someone is looking for the job in C# automation, definitely they will be able to get into the C# automation job with their achieving their career goals. Okay. So yes, we will get start from the upcoming lecture, setting up the C# .NET environment in our system. So as of this, as a part of this demo class, I hope whatever I have told you, you were able to understand it. Okay. So in case of any questions, anything, you can always come back to me. I'm always open. Okay. So you can always come back to me. I'm always open to the questions. Okay, so I hope this demo class has made you my perspective clear. Okay, thank you for attending the demo class. Okay, so all the best, guys. So all the best for your career. Thank you.
and then they will check the feasibility check whether the okay, I think recording is in progress. uh, okay, so before we start our session, do you guys have any question regarding this uh, training course? Please ask me. Like, you guys can ask your questions one by one so that I can note it down and I can answer it before we start like our training. So you might have some questions. Please let me know. Like if you have doubts, what we gonna do, how we gonna do, anything. Do you guys have any questions? Please free to speak.
Hello. Hi, good evening. My name is Zainab. Actually,
Okay.
I have a question. I have
Mm-hmm.
joined this demo to clear. Actually, I am a CSS certified already.
Okay.
So I wanted more training on the development part. So
Yes.
whether this course will help me that way to learn more into the development deeper.
Yes. So, okay. So more development. Yeah, I'm noting down your question. I will answer. Okay. So,
Yeah, like I'm little bit lagging in the JavaScript. So whether we will get JavaScript like from basic to like we will be like you will be support till we write the
yes.
confidently write the
Yes.
scripts.
Yes. 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 So, like in this course, will okay. So, okay, I will answer your question. Okay, I'm gonna tell the like complete
Sure,
how we
sure.
are gonna learn. Okay. So, other
Sure.
than Zainab, do you guys, anyone else have any questions?
Hi Guna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi Guna. So I do not have any experience in JavaScript. So am I good to
Yes.
be good here?
Yes. So, no experience.
Yes. I
Yes.
do not have any experience in service now.
Yes. Yes. So also you can continue. It's like there is no prerequisite that we need to learn this technology. Okay, if like if you I answer your question, so there is no like prerequisite. There are some prerequisite, like for example JavaScript. Okay, so basically we are gonna learn this series in phase wise, like phase one admin, phase two development, like scripting part, and then phase three catalog means some more deep development, and then integrations. Okay, so I will explain you guys one by one, like uh, how you guys have to prepare. Like there is some prerequisite of JavaScript, how you guys can learn, I will tell you. So no experience also. Okay, I will uh,
Okay.
cover this question also.
Okay,
Anyone
Guna.
else have any question before I share my screen? Yes,
Another part.
yes, yes.
So other than
Mhm.
JavaScript, do we need to learn any type of scripting or coding or any Linux here?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I will answer your question
Yes, sir.
also.
Okay.
Prerequisite.
Thank you.
Okay. I will explain this prerequisite also. Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
Hello. Hi, Guna. This is Dharmesh here.
Yes, Dharmesh.
So Guna, so I
Mhm.
think it's the same thing. Like I too don't have much of experience on the service now, but
Mhm.
like this service now has been in market for so long.
Right.
So it's like demo session. So lot of
Mhm.
people now have the basic CSA and the basic service now
Right. Right.
understanding. But so if we want to place ourselves in service now, so what
Correct.
is the way forward so that we get a good opportunity in market? Which areas
Yes.
I should look forward? Because there are multiple areas where ServiceNow has gone forward, right? Whether
Right.
it is ITSM or ITOM or
Right.
HSRD and a lot of different areas, even in development.
Right.
So where should we focus? So for next few years, we are like in from the opportunities perspective, we get a good opportunity.
Right. Like if you have doubts, what we gonna do, how we gonna do, anything. Do you guys have any questions? Please free to speak.
Hello. Hi, good evening. My name is Zainab. Actually,
Okay.
I have a question. I have
Mm-hmm.
joined this demo to clear. Actually, I am a CSS certified already.
Okay.
So I wanted more training on the development part. So
Yes.
whether this course will help me that way in, to learn more into the development deeper.
Yes. So, okay. So more development. Yeah, I'm noting down your question. I will answer. Okay. So,
Yeah, like I'm little bit lagging in the JavaScript. So whether we will get JavaScript like from basic to like we will be like you will be support till we write the
yes.
confidently write the
Yes.
scripts.
Yes. 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 So, like in this course, will okay. So, okay, I will answer your question. Okay, I'm gonna tell the like complete
For
how we
sure.
are gonna learn. Okay. So, other
Sure.
than Zainab, do you guys, anyone else have any questions?
Hi Guna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi Guna. So I do not have any experience in JavaScript. So am I good to
Yes.
be good here?
Yes. So, no experience.
Yes. I
Yes.
do not have any experience in service now.
Yes. Yes. So also you can continue. It's like there is no prerequisite that we need to learn this technology. Okay, if you I answer your question, so there is no like prerequisite. There are some prerequisite, like for example JavaScript. Okay, so basically we are gonna learn this series in phase wise, like phase one admin, phase two development, like scripting part, and then phase three catalog means some more deep development, and then integrations. Okay, so I will explain you guys one by one, like uh, how you guys have to prepare. Like there is some prerequisite of JavaScript, how you guys can learn, I will tell you. So no experience also. Okay, I will uh,
Okay.
cover this question also.
Okay,
Anyone
Guna.
else have any question before I share my screen? Yes,
Another part.
yes, yes.
So other than
Mhm.
JavaScript, do we need to learn any type of scripting or coding or any Linux here?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I will answer your question
Yes, sir.
also.
Okay.
Prerequisite.
Thank you.
Okay. I will explain this prerequisite also. Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
Hello. Hi, Guna. This is Dharmesh here.
Yes, Dharmesh.
So Guna, so I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the same thing. Like I too don't have much of experience on the service now, but
Mm-hmm.
like the service now has been in market for so long.
Right.
So it's like demo session. So lot of
Mm-hmm.
people now have the basic CSA and the basic service now
Right. Right.
understanding. But so if we want to place ourselves in service now, so what
Correct.
is the way forward so that we get a good opportunity in market? Which areas
Yes.
I should look forward? Because there are multiple areas where ServiceNow has gone forward, right? Whether
Right.
it is ITSM or ITOM or
Right.
HSRD, and a lot of different areas, even in development.
Right.
So where should we focus? So for next few years, we are like in from the opportunities perspective, we get a good opportunity.
Right. Okay. So how to get good opportunity? That is the third question. I will cover this. Okay. I will like I'm noting down all your questions. I will cover at once. Like I'll share my screen and I will answer. Okay. Anyone else